What's up, guys? ChasingCinema.com here, exiting AMC Town Square. I'm going to take you with me on a little tour to take you out as I review the new 20th Century Fox / Disney, The Call of the Wild. In 1903, Jack London, American legend when it comes to writing, published The Call of the Wild, a story about loyalty and humanity, and of course, the relationship between beast and man. The movie has been made abundance of times. The first time being in 1923. It was a silent film. There was a film with Clark Gable, Charlton Heston, many film adaptations of this classic story. Here we have quite a confusing and baffling adaptation of Call of the Wild. Harrison Ford is very good as John Thornton and a very important character in the book. He seems to really kind of bring it all, while the entire movie around him seems to be a cartoon. And I think that's kind of where the movie becomes really conflicting, because part of this movie wants to be so sincere and genuine and complex and deep with these themes. But it also feels like one of those 70 Disney movies in which it's a very exaggerated cartoon, characters are very on the nose. It just seems a bit off. Now, this movie was directed by Chris Saunders, who directed 3 different films: The Croods, Lilo and Stitch, and How to Train Your Dragon. So obviously through his discography, you could see that the man knows how to tell a story about, or the fish out of water story, right? The 2 characters that don't belong as friends, and of course becoming friends. Lilo and Stitch, How to Train Your Dragon, Toothless and Hiccup. In this movie, though, this movie feels more cartoony than How to Train Your Dragon or Lilo and Stitch. That's a movie that's set in an animated both animated worlds, but they feel more grounded and real because there's not a conflicting tone. Call of the Wild has the very beautiful cinematography and the realism when it comes to Harrison Ford, but then it has the CGI in which they had a Cirque du Soleil actor play the dog Buck in this movie, who is kind of the main protagonist in this film. And it just seems so overly done. Every time we see the dogs, it looks like they're going to break out in song. It seems like we're watching this movie and we're just waiting for these grandiose performances, and then there's these fight scenes in the movie. There are 2 that come to mind. One looks like The Lion King, another looks like, the ending of Jungle Book, and then there's a lot of bad CGI in the movie. So I can't say that the movie was terrible. I mean, the 1903 story is here. We have this really kind of heartfelt story about a man and a dog becoming outcasts and finding a home together. But the movie really takes its time getting there too. I think there's only really about 45 minutes we get to spend with Harrison Ford and Buck together. Overall, I think this is a movie that's kind of catching the train of the dog, or hopping on the dog CGI bandwagon, like A Dog's Purpose, A Long Way Home, or A Dog's Way Home, whatever it was called, that seems to be really popular right now. And this movie, of course, has a really mustache-twirling villain who's not very nice to pets, and he just doesn't let things go, and his actions are ridiculous, which is very different than the 1903 original story. So this movie tries to kind of, being PG, work for all of those audiences, but it doesn't, because it's trying to please everybody. So The Call of the Wild, not one of my favorites here at AMC Town Square, but join us here next week, because we are here every single week at AMC Town Square to do movie premieres every single Thursday. So make sure to text Shuperman, that's HSUPERMAN, to 555-888 to make sure that you get to know every event that we're doing, any movie that we're doing. And of course, you can join us here at AMC Town Square next Thursday. Thank you guys so much. ChasingCinema.com is known as the Film Lovers website.